I have a question, another question. I mean, this is kind of off topic, but like as creatives, what did you guys, I guess, struggle with? Like, I don't know, like learning wise? Like, I think a lot of times our brains work in a different way than like how we were taught in school or like different things. Like, is there a way that you wish you would have been taught or things that like you wish you would have focused on? Like, I guess, how did you get to where you are as a creative and like respecting your process, if that makes sense?
Mm, it's a good.
Chelsea's asking really good questions that are making me think,
Yeah. Like go
like a
back to
lot.
like, what kind of person am I?
I don't know because I'm very like I'm just gonna like I am a science nerd. Like I literally was going to go into chemistry like before I decided on fashion, even though I had also thought about going into both at the same time. And then I took AP Chem my senior year, and by the time I was at the end of it, I was like, no calculus and derivatives and rate laws for me. I'm great at math, but no. Yeah.
Not
So
something you
I
want to
was
do every day.
yeah, I was in pattern making class in flat pattern and I was going through this. And I will never forget this. This is one of my favorite stories to share. I literally was doing something and one of my classmates, she was like, what is this? And I'm like, okay, so your fraction is 5/8 and this one is this one. And then you just, the addition of fractions. She's like, you're too smart for this major. Bro, we deal with this stuff every day. You can even look at the ruler. So I don't
Awesome.
answer that question because in some ways I'm very technical and other ways I'm very creative. So like the innovation side of fashion and textiles is like,
She just got it all covered.
that's my thing.
Yeah.
She's like, I
you're
ain't even
well
tripping.
rounded.
Like
Yeah, for real.
for me, like making graded spec sheets, that's not my thing.
Yeah. It's just
Well,
interesting to me. Like, I wish that, I don't know. I mean, as a business owner, it's like you do have to be good at certain aspects of like the math and not the science necessarily, but just like that side of the brain versus the creative side, So it's difficult sometimes.
Yeah, balance for sure.
Yeah, I have an engineering background and like construction background, so I was like, I feel like that's helped on that technical side for sure. Like I dealt with contracts in my day job usually, so like now when I see one, I'm like, fine print, like can't get me with that. But also I think the like I don't know, sometimes maybe that technical side like stunts the creativity because sometimes when I like see something that I want to be able to do, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm like creative enough to like do that thing, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. And yeah, I guess it's kind of the opposite where I was like, I've always been math and science and engineering, like all the way growing up. And then literally in my late 20s, I was like, here's this creative thing that I'm going to do now. And like, now here I am. So
Awesome.
it is, I feel like I'm just letting it bloom, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty good process so far, I'd say.
Oh,
and
thank you. I appreciate it.
you can't like force your creativity either, so like as you're growing up and you're thinking about what you want to do with your life, you're not necessarily thinking about like, oh, let me explore this whole other side of my brain that I hadn't really been
Right.
instructed or encouraged to use yet, and
Yeah.
that's part of the problem with our school system is that it does try to pigeonhole people into thinking one way when you're thinking about like, I'm going to go do this, and like, so you guys were more math and science based, like I was all language based, so it's interesting because like I always thought I was bad at math and I can't do numbers, and now when I'm doing measurements on garments, it's all math, and
Yeah.
I'm like you're saying, it's like it's fractions, it's not like it's that hard, but it's like I trained myself for so long to think you can't do math well because you're language arts based and you're English based and you're writing based. When it's like, no, you can explore different things. Like David, you're talking about, it's like you didn't realize until you're in your mid 20s that you're like, man, I'm actually really creative and I can do this.
Right.
It's the same way, so you just got to let it happen.
That's
Yeah,
like
Chris, I'm
oh,
with
go
you.
ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm very similar to Chris. Like I think growing up in school, I always felt like, yeah, I wasn't great at math and science, and therefore maybe wasn't like smart enough for this or that. And really good at languages. I speak 3 different languages, and like
Wow.
I was always in the arts, arts fields and theater and everything. But it's like for some reason I feel like that wasn't given enough credit in a way, and
they try to like split you up, right? So
yeah.
I always felt like the longest time. So both my parents are physicians still. And so for the longest time when I was young, I just thought, okay, my parents are doctors. Like, I'm going to take science and I'm going to take math and I'm going to, do. And I got like to 5th grade and I was like, this sucks. I don't like science. I definitely don't like math. I always tested
all the
well
way to
in like
5th grade.
yeah, I got to like 10, dude, and I was like, this no. And then like from then on, it was very like anti-science, anti-math. And even like the school that I tried to apply to when I went to high school was a magnet school that literally broke it up into linguistics and math and science. So it's like they reinforce it then when you go to school too. So it's like you don't necessarily get that opportunity if like you're someone like, okay, you're going to go into engineering, so you're going to go to math and science based education, and that's what you're going to go into, and there's no room for really creativity until you get to the point where you're old enough where you're like, wait, hold on, I can do both,
Yes.
so
yeah, totally.
it's like
I think
that
even
commercial.
Like, I think even where at least I grew up, like they do pigeonhole you a little bit, like to where it's like you have to go into this one field, that's all you can do with it, it's a 9 to 5, blah blah blah. So it's like, as if you're multifaceted, it's almost like you don't have a direction or something like that, that's how I've always
you're like aimless, you're kind of wandering around, like you don't really have a plan, quote unquote.
Yeah, like if you're good at multiple things, it's like, I don't know, sometimes that people need to like compartmentalize. So I just always thought that was interesting. Whereas like if you look at people in New York or LA or out, it's like they're authors, they're podcasters, they're, influencers, or like doing a million things. And I don't know, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely felt pigeonholed. And then I was like, I think, like I said, it took me all to like 27 to be like, whoa, I just like didn't really choose math and science. I just kind of got like,
thrown into
that.
Got
like,
steered. Yeah, you got steered. Yeah. I mean, and that's what
you're like, math and science, so you must be like, engineering will probably be great. Or like I was gonna do business or engineering and I like went engineering, but
well, it's funny because Leah and I talk about this a lot, with like college majors, like her friends, she was a criminal justice major. Her friends are always like, why don't you use that, and like do something. And she was like, okay, so if I strictly stuck to that, that means I'm either a lawyer or a police officer, basically.
Yeah.
And people did the same thing to me. I was a history major. They're like, oh, so are you going to be a historian? Like, no, why can't I just like go learn this and then also then go do something and not feel like, I don't know, it's just one of those things society does, I guess.
I'm on the other end. Yeah. Like, everybody take a gap year between high school and
college. Man. Seriously. It's so key.
I want to like force my kids to take a gap year. Be like,
yeah, like go into the workforce and figure out what you want to do.
Like, live life for a hot second. I'm like the fact that we like force 18-year-olds or whatever to choose the direction of their rest of their lives at 18 is nuts to me.
I know, and it's so expensive, and it's just like, I mean, it is good to, kind of like follow your major if you can, but it's also like, obviously very little people do that, so it's not the end of the world, but I just think, I agree.
Or you end up in multiple career paths or like multiple things you do, and then you're like, well, which do I like more? Nah, I don't really, but it's back there.
Yeah.
Well, you would like to have that freedom though, right? Like it would be nice to at least have the option.
Yeah.
And I think David, like 18-year-olds shouldn't be forced to like think about the rest of their lives yet.
Dude, it's nuts. Like
it's crazy.
I was an idiot at 18. Like what are we doing?
Why now, yo?
Why is this the point where you like decide the rest of your future?
I was just ready to get out. That's where I was.
Right. Yeah. Like if you think, most of us, like, again, not everyone, but like obviously a majority of people have been like, not adult and living under someone else's roof at 18. So like, you don't know anything. Like,
Yeah, no, of course, you definitely don't. I was like, I just want to go experience something new. I've been here.
right, exactly. But
Even
yeah,
if you could take that gap year and just travel, that would be
something, I don't know. I just like, I'm not going to force my kids into school right away, I guess is my point. From what I've learned from my life experience.
Plus, I feel like if you're older and you join, if you go later, it's like you probably take it way more seriously in general, you know, like a little less apt to like party and like ditch class and everything.
Oh my God. You know how many friends I had that went to one school and had to transfer either back home or to a smaller school because they literally flunked out because they just partied the whole time. Because like you said, it's like they got out of the house, boom, they just went freaking crazy. And then it was like, oh, I transferred from ex SEC state school back to Louisville because your ass got like a 0.8 GPA, you know?
Yeah, there were a lot of people my freshman year, especially after first semester, like, I think I'm going to transfer. I don't like it here. I think I'm going to transfer back home. I'm going to transfer to here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of someone,
I go in undecided, you know, and there shouldn't be such a stigma around being undecided.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. I did transfer back home, but it was mostly because I left and I was like, I'm not ready to be away from home. And because I was 18 and didn't really think about what the hell I actually wanted until I was, halfway across the country. And I was like, oh, this sucks. It's not what I want right now. So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to think about like trying to make those like looking back on it now and like kind of circling back, Chelsea, to your question about like what you wish you had known, like from a creative process. I wish I would have known that like it's okay to not know what the hell you're doing, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Still don't.
Exactly.
May never.
Go with it, and if it works, it works.
Or like, I wish that they would literally give like, I mean, not force like business classes on everybody, but like kind of. I mean, it's like I went into interior design and fashion merchandising. Ended up being an interior designer up until 2 years ago when I launched this company, and it's like, I don't know, like I wish that they would have been more transparent about like, hey, interior design, these are the avenues that you can go down. This is what's practical with, as a career. A lot of times people just end up owning their own business or, working for a company, which is fine too. But it's like furniture design is so cool, like all kinds of textile design, like all kinds of things you can go into. I don't know. I wish it's like, but the fact that you can take a marketing major and have your own business, like I wish that there was like a little bit of education behind the business aspect in every single major, you know what I mean?
So dealing with that though, I had to take marketing and I had to take microeconomics for my fashion degree. Another thing that you're talking about, speaking of like different routes within just the industry, nobody actually, like you said, discussed it. They might have discussed like, okay, you can be like a technical designer or assistant to a technical designer, creative designer, or like, I don't know, textile design. But they didn't go into, hey, you can, we had quality control as a class. So, okay, you could be a quality control agent or something like that. But for the most part, like you said, there was no complete breakdown. There are all these avenues. You don't have to just stick within this creative portion of it if this isn't for you. You can go over here and do something more technical or whatever.
Yeah. I know.
You just got to kind of figure it out.
Exactly.
Maybe I just went to a shit school. I shouldn't say that because Ohio State's playing, I think, right now.
Yes, I know. And I'm like, y'all played crazy last week though, so I think props. Thank you for knocking Clemson out because they're.
Oh my God, thank you. I genuinely don't like Ohio State, but especially living in Charlotte now in the Carolinas, I hate Clemson so much.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the worst. They're the worst.
I think I went to like a half of a football game once. And then I left because it was like pouring rain. I was like, this is stupid. I'm the worst Buckeye.
I literally went to like Alabama. You're supposed to go to every single game. Did I? No, I probably went to a total maybe like 8 to 10 games the 4 years I was
See,
there.
y'all don't understand. Like I've gone to basically until now, until we moved, every single University of Louisville football game that they had. Like my dad has taken me all the time, and like not no one, they don't care about football like they do at Ohio State or at Alabama, and it always makes me sad because I'm like, I'm here, y'all. Like, come on, where's everybody? Where's
Oh my
everybody
God.
else? Y'all don't know how
Yeah.
good it is.
I
I
mean,
know. I wish I was more into the culture. I wish I appreciated it more because
That's actually, it's hilarious though, because I was thinking, I was like, wait, yeah, I was a Bama fan.
yeah,
Tonight's the
I know.
national
I was like,
championship game.
oh,
Like,
I know Chris is gonna be like, I want to watch this game. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to see the other.
I'm gonna turn it on here in a minute. I honestly forgot what time it was. I forgot how late they put it on. It just started, so
Yeah, no, I
don't
know.
worry.
It's 48 minutes. We're good. Like,
You got your crimson on though. You got your crimson.
yeah, I
You're good.
made sure today. I was like, I'm wearing
you
my
guys, The Bachelor is also on. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, what's America?
Oh
What's
yeah,
America
well,
gonna
good for
do?
him though, diversity. So I'll give it that. But I'm not watching that show.
it's pretty ridiculous. So it's okay.
Oh
But
my-
yeah, the first Black Bachelor finally. My God.
They all literally look the exact same.
yeah.
Like up
Yep.
until this season, it was like the most basic, like white, like Nick Lachey looking white boy every year. I swear, I was like, how they just get the same guy? They like have a factory. Where y'all come from? So embarrassing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
Oh my gosh.
but it's so good.
So quick
Sorry,
question for y'all. That's okay. So we can kind of wrap it up. What are you looking forward to? I guess if we're going to go by quarters, we'll go by quarters this year, not the whole year. What are your like main goals or objectives?
I'll go. I met with a marketing person today, and then I'm meeting with her again on Thursday. But I'm gonna revamp some ads, which I haven't done in forever. So gonna take a chance on that because it didn't really pan out. So I'm gonna try to give it another shot. But a lot of Gotcha Packed is all word of mouth, which is awesome. But I obviously definitely need to expand my horizons. So that's going to be hopefully some new leads and just general, awareness of the brand. That's going to be the goal for Q1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which gentleman would like to go first?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Evan.
Last month was a good month, so I'm trying to carry that like momentum into this first quarter. Like it was a good month, just like creatively, financially, all that stuff. So it was like finally picking up speed, which is dope. So trying to carry that. Trying to like secure 1 to 2 more clients on the like management side, because that means I'm trying to leave like my platforms as more of my own creative spaces. So like that would alleviate the pressure of me like trying to search for sponsored content and that kind of situation. As much as I love them, but I get to be more choosy with them if like all things work out. So that's kind of the goal. And then I'm trying to lay the foundations for I don't know exactly what this looks like, but like this, I'm trying to pull some sort of resource center or like something for creatives where like you can actually come get your questions answered, as opposed to like doing a bunch of YouTube and Google searches and like looking up at random people's stuff who like don't actually have real information. So I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm starting with like a private Facebook group of just like, you're allowed to ask whatever questions you want. They're like real questions, but I would like to lay the foundation for that.
That's awesome.
It's a good idea.
Need that.
Yeah, thank you.
For me, it's all about networking. This first Q, obviously, it's hard with COVID. There aren't the normal like social outlets. But we moved here in early November, and you had about with holiday for us, there was really no time to even think with work. So now I actually have some time to been getting on LinkedIn a lot lately, and Facebook as well. Just kind of getting back to trying to find networking groups, just get my name out there as a stylist in the Charlotte community and, meet some people because other than maybe a couple of close friends, we don't really have a lot of connections yet. So that's Q1, kind of like David's saying, lay the foundations for hopefully with knock on some wood, some better luck with the pandemic later in the year when it starts getting warmer and people feel more comfortable, that we'll get back to the events, we'll get back to people dressing up again, and I'll get back to not just selling like sneakers and jeans all the time and hoodies, actually like some sport coats, maybe some suits. Don't know, that might be crazy, but
Well, you can always hope.
oh my God, this guy came in today and had on a really nice jacket and had his shirt untucked and like some sneakers on, and a really beautiful sport coat. I was like, "That's a gorgeous sport coat, sir. Like, thank you. We always appreciate when you wear something nice." He goes, I feel like when you have a nice jacket, you should just wear it. And I was like, "Can I keep you here and you just say that to people?" Because like, I don't know about y'all, and maybe we can kind of finish this up. But like, are y'all gonna dress up when we get back to real life? Because like, I'm really bullish that people have been in their comfy clothes for so long that like, hopefully people want to go back to dressing up again. But I don't know if people are going to be so comfortable with what they've been wearing. They're just going to be like, it's great. I don't even feel like it anymore. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
I'm over it. I decided this year I'm going to, at least during the week, dress purposefully, right?
There we go.
So
there we go.
That means even accessorizing, which I don't usually do.
Can I use that phrase actually? Dress purposefully?
Yeah,
I love that. That's really good.
Yeah. So then I am dressed to be productive, and I'm not going to be like, yo, I'm in my sweatpants, I'm just in a hoodie today. And then I got to figure out, if I'm going live or if I'm going on a story, to be presentable. Like,
yeah.
I'm also presenting a brand. So
Real. I'm not going to lie. If I'm not like on camera,
oh no, I'm with you.
Wait, no.
I don't know. It makes me feel so much more
It does.
productive and like I don't know. If I can shower, put on makeup, like get dressed and feel cuter, like even if it's just me and my wife at home, like I don't know. It definitely helps like my entire mood and productivity. Yeah, but
just boost.
I will say maternity clothes are like impossible and nothing is cute and nothing is comfortable. So that's like a whole nother, discussion. But if anyone wants to start designing maternity wear, I would gladly give them some pointers.
She literally asked me about this last year, y'all. She was like, do you know anybody who does maternity wear? Because she was looking for it for her box. And I was like, I don't, but if I find anybody, I can let them know and send them your way.
Yeah,
maybe I just need to go back to school for fashion design and start my own.
There you go.
Now that I'm a consumer, anyway.
But so I'm definitely like dressed purposefully because
I like it
matters. But as far as my quarter one goals, I'm still in networking phase, but along with that, I'm really gonna try to push getting into those stores, even though a lot of them are dead right now. So just trying to create that relationship and get in there. I hired a sales and marketing specialist, so I have somebody on my team.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yay!
So I have some help. So other than that, David knows I'm redoing my website, completely different platform.
Yeah.
Nice.
And pretty much just keep on trucking, trying to just keep on growing. That's what we're gonna do.
Good goals, guys. Good goals.
Yeah, good work, everyone.
Yeah. But that's all I've got. You guys got anything else?
That's it.
Just always grateful to get to chat with you guys. Always makes me feel inspired.
Yeah, this is so fun. I love this stuff. This helps me. It's definitely easy to like get in your own head and in your own little bubble, but it's like, there's people that are out there in the world that are like trying to do their thing as well.
Especially when we're isolating.
Oh, for real.
Yeah.
I've got 4 more days. No, I don't. I have a week. I lied. I have a week.
Of isolation?
Oh, man.
Yeah, because I traveled across state lines, so I'm trying to do the right thing.
Oh, okay. I thought
I got COVID tested today.
You're not sick. You're just doing you're just playing smart. Okay, cool.
Good for you. That's a good decision.
Good work.
No, honestly, because a couple of my really, really good friends and I won't name them because, obviously it's their business. But, like, they traveled a lot over the holidays. And I was just like, really, y'all? Really? Like,
Yeah.
just like being around 40 people. I'm like, that's probably a bad idea, but whatever.
Yeah. Man. I literally just got here like last week. I came to this bowling alley. It's relatively packed. You best believe I'm wearing 2 masks. And I'm not shaking anybody's hand. Like, we're good. So then I did that. And then I was working at the funeral home and I only worked 1 or 2 services. Yeah. So, I mean, that's still enough people. I'm like,
yeah, that's a decent amount. Like, we're, obviously we're around a decent amount of people in the store, but
yeah,
everyone's pretty much respectful.
we'll have to connect on that one after next week.
Yeah.
I am happy to get really riled up, so I need to tone it down, but I'm happy to talk to you guys about it if you ever want to.
So Chris, when are you starting your videos back up?
Here soon, actually. So I'm gonna go live with Derek Johnson. His handle is Derek Grown Man Style on Instagram, and he is actually from Charlotte, or lives in Charlotte. And we met. He came by the store because when I moved here, I was like, let me go see who I know on here. Then so he and I followed each other for probably about 2 years or so, and came in, and he's been doing he was like, I did my first Instagram live the other day and it was really cool. Like, I know that you've done it before. So it'll kind of be, we're going to talk more about, I think, we're going to talk fashion, but I did tell him I wanted to talk to, certain things that, more relevant, like kind of current political stuff if he'd be interested. But I really want to gear him more towards people of color in fashion for sure. And actually, we should definitely do it sometime where we could sit down and kind of talk about like your journey and the obstacles you face. Because I think that's something that is really relevant. I'm not trying to get on a tangent right before we're about to get off, but it's really relevant nowadays with like Black creators, equitable treatment online, that sort of thing, and in the industry, because it's still a very whitewashed industry, particularly high-end fashion and European fashion. So yeah, no, it'll be really interesting. So I'm hoping actually either this month or next month to start kind of gearing that back up, hopefully.
Oh,
can't wait. I'll be watching.
Yeah, you're gonna be a part of it, man. I want your voice. I want your perspective on it, because I think as a business owner and as someone who's in the industry, I would love to hear, certain things about how you've, what you've experienced, and that's all that sort of stuff. So you're going to be involved.
I'm happy.
Absolutely.
Got you.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be white men in the industry? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Nobody needs to ask that. It's not.
Yeah, no, we're good on that one. We've had our say for a while. I think it's time for us to kind of shut up. That was good. That was really, really good.
So
it's a
gotta watch
right
that
there.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But Ayana, thank you for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you.
Always, man. So much fun. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining. It's always great.